Hi, kindergarten. Today's lesson is called Plants and People. Our first vocabulary word is bouquet. Now, a bouquet is a bunch of flowers that have been arranged and usually wrapped up, and you can give a bouquet of flowers to someone. Medicines. Medicines are substances given to a sick person to help them feel better. So here we have a pharmacy that has so many different medicines. But maybe if you have a headache, you have to take medicine, or if you have a cough, there are a lot of reasons we have to take medicine sometimes if we're sick. Next, we have oxygen. Oxygen is a gas found in air and water. So we actually breathe in oxygen. Like if you go, you're breathing in something that's called oxygen. It's in the air. And our next word is provide. Provide is to supply or to give something. So I picked a picture of the sun because the sun provides us with a lot of warmth. The sun keeps us warm. We have already learned several different ways that people make use of the different parts of plants. Like remember we talked about fruits that people can eat. What are the different parts? What are the different fruits called? I know we have apples that we talked about, and we talked about cherries. And there are different parts of those fruits that people eat. Like strawberries have seeds on the outside that we eat, but you would not eat the seed of a plum because that would really hurt your teeth and your stomach. And remember we learned about the gigantic turnip? The turnip. We learned people eat the tops of the turnip, which is also called the greens, or also people eat the roots of the turnip. Pretty cool. So today we're going to learn about how plants provide two very important things for both animals and for humans to survive: oxygen and food. I want you to take a deep breath again. When you breathe in, oxygen goes through your body. Just like we must eat every day, we also have to breathe oxygen in order to survive. It's really important for us. Eating and breathing are only two of the many ways that people use plants. But listen carefully to hear about how plants provide oxygen, as well as some other ways people use plants. Where would we be without plants? The truth is that life for animals, insects, and humans would be impossible if it weren't for plants. The most obvious reason plants are important is that they provide food. People, including you, eat plants or parts of plants every day. What does the woman in this picture have in her mouth? It's lettuce. Of course, you don't see too many people chomping on lettuce like this picture, but you will find lettuce in salads or on sandwiches, and lettuce is good for you. It's a healthy vegetable that comes from a plant. What fruits and vegetables do you see here? Just like fruit, all vegetables are parts of plants, including potatoes, beans, peas, carrots, peppers, cucumbers, and squash. Each comes from different plants and from different parts of plants, but they all come from plants nonetheless. Many fruits and vegetables are healthy and tasty, so you should try to eat some every day. And I know I've talked to some of you about your favorite vegetables and your favorite fruits, and it seems like we have a big vegetable eating class. So this is a picture of an ear of corn and a cornfield. Believe it or not, corn comes from a special type of grass. Do you like to eat corn on the cob? I do. Have you ever eaten any bread? You probably have. And guess what? You must have eaten wheat. Wheat also comes from a type of grass. Can you believe it that bread comes from grass? Its seeds are ground up and used to make wheat flour. And wheat flour is used in many different kinds of breads, cereals, and cakes. This is a picture of a bowl of rice and a rice paddy or field. People all over the world eat rice. It's used to feed billions of people every day. You have just learned about 3 important grains: corn, wheat, and rice. Grains are seeds that come from different types of grasses. It's cool. So plants and plant products can also be used to make fabric or cloth. Fabrics are used to make clothing, blankets, and other everyday things. So this picture shows cotton plants. Fluffy, white cotton is often dyed or colored to make colorful clothing and blankets. And guess what? When people are feeling sick or sad, sometimes it's nice to give them a bouquet of flowers, right? Just like this. Flowers can cheer people up and let them know they're loved. Have you ever received or given flowers to someone? Maybe even you just picked flowers outside and gave them to someone? It's really nice. There are many things that you would not guess have anything at all to do with plants, like tires on a car, which are made of rubber, but guess what? Much of the rubber we use for everything from tires to rubber bands to basketballs comes from the sap of rubber trees. Can you believe that? So this is sap coming out of this tree that's going to be turned into rubber. Wild. Another type of sap we use comes from maple trees. This type of sap is clear and gives us something much better tasting than rubber: maple syrup. In early spring, people drill small holes into the trunks of maple trees and insert spouts, which look like this, which allow sap to drip out into a bucket or holding tank. When the sap is boiled, it turns into maple syrup. Don't worry, the holes don't hurt the trees at all. And they heal during the summer and fall, and people pick a different spot on the trunk to drill the next spring. But that's how you get maple syrup, from this stuff coming out of trees. Isn't that so cool? Some plants and plant parts can be used to make medicines for curing diseases or healing wounds. Using plants to make medicine requires a great deal of knowledge. A person must know how to find the right kind of plant, and he or she must know exactly what part of the plant to use and how to use it. In some parts of the world, knowledge of medicine and medicinal plants has been passed down from generation to generation, from parents to their children, for thousands of years. Wow. People use this very common medicinal plant. It's the aloe vera plant. Inside its thick green leaves is a clear gel, which many people use to help small cuts and soothe sunburns. Some doctors and scientists think that eating or drinking parts of the aloe plant is good for your stomach and can help prevent many diseases. People use the wood from trees to build houses and to make many other things. This lumberjack, a person who cuts down trees, is using a very powerful chainsaw to cut down a great big pine tree. Why do you think he's wearing earplugs? Why would he be wearing earplugs? After he chops this tree down, the lumberjack will saw off all of the branches, and the bare trunk will be loaded into a truck and taken to a lumber mill, where it will be turned into boards. Maybe to make a house, maybe to make a floor. Who knows? People also use the wood from trees to make fires when it's cold outside. This person is splitting logs to burn in the fireplace. Wood is also used to make tool handles, instruments, and other objects. Baseball bats, are often made of wood from the ash tree, one of the strongest trees in the forest. It's very important to plant new trees for every old tree that's cut down, so that there will be plenty of trees for other people to use in the future. Right? We can't just chop down trees, because they're very important, so we gotta save them. Here is another important thing to know about plants. They help keep the air fresh and clean. Right? So when plants make their own food, they release, so they let go, oxygen into the air. So when they go through photosynthesis, they're releasing oxygen in the air. And then when we breathe in, that same oxygen travels to your lungs. Oxygen keeps you alive, and you need oxygen all day, every day. So Actually, plants are keeping us alive by giving us oxygen. Did you have any idea how important plants are to people? It is so cool. Go ahead and click on the exit ticket below.